Good morning, good morning, good morning. And I'm just trying to reposition this camera. Good morning and welcome to this week's Monday Motivation. The motivation that's designed specifically to help you get motivated, maybe for your morning, maybe even for your Monday, and definitely for your week. And definitely for your Monday too, hence the name. So this morning I thought I would share something to help you to self-motivate, because these Monday motivations are not only great for you, they're great for me too. But what's the point in being motivated if you are having to be motivated by something outside of yourself? So these Monday motivations actually started way back in 2008. They're 10 years old, believe it or not. And over the passage of time, they changed from being a motivational email within my previous life in financial services. And then very slowly, as I started my business in 2010, I changed them into something that would be a bit more user-friendly. So today that looks like a Facebook Live. Why Facebook Live? Because if you are the person that's feeling motivated or wanting motivation for your week, you can come and join me and other juicy members of people who also want to be motivated. Second reason is that if you miss some or all of these Monday motivations, they're here for you. You can come back and watch them. And the third reason I do it, even though it is a Monday motivation, sometimes our week goes like this, sometimes it kind of goes like that. And regardless of where you are in your week, you can come back and have a little bit of a top up of motivation. So today I'm going to be talking about learning and doing. And if you're like Alan, who says, good morning, Jenny, I'm saying, good morning, Alan. I'm wondering how you're doing with your computer. Let me know offline, send me a message and just let me know that you're doing okay with all of that. So I'm known as the Queen of Being Seen, and the reason that I'm known as the Queen of Being Seen is because I love helping you to be visible, whether it's on video, whether it's while you're speaking publicly, or whether it's showing up in yours or someone else's business. And I help to stop you from being passed over, overlooked, and help you to start really being seen by the people that you want to or need to be seen by. And today, let me tell you a bit about where this motivation came from. So quite recently, in a conversation with my own coach, I was talking about something that I'm working on, something that I'm doing. And as I was looking at the thing that I was doing and putting out there, like many of you, I don't know, does this resonate with you? When you go to put something new out there, especially if you're a business owner, and especially if you are working within an organisation where you're working on a project and it's time to kind of like release it or go into the pre-release stage. Does anyone else ever feel like, hold on, before I put it out there, I've just got to do one more piece to it, or it's not finished, aka perfectionism? Anyone else partial to a bit of perfectionism? If you are, give me a thumbs up or a love heart, even if you're watching this on the replay. So I watch out for this all the time. I speak to clients about it. I look out for myself. And there I was, without realising, having sort of verbalised this thing that I want to put out in the world, and needing to tweak it a bit more, put a few more finishing touches on it, finish it off a bit. And there I was, and my coach called me out on it and said, so it's perfectionism, you're wanting to perfect it first. And what we had afterwards, we had a really great kind of discussion moving forward, or how I could move this forward. And I just wanted to say, ARP Ian, good morning. And Ian saying good morning to everyone who's joining. and Ian's also saying, yeah, definitely guilty of that in the past. Me too. And I would like to say that it will never, ever affect my future. But you know what? There will be little rabbit holes. There will be things that I do, new things that I do differently. Something that I'm sure will take me to the path. And this is why I'm sharing this Monday motivation with you. So after our discussion, what something that I realised is how can we ever perfect something, especially when it affects other people, even ourselves actually? How can we perfect it if we keep it in our head and we don't put it out there? Also known as the doing. So let's say that you decide that you want to start eating more healthily, for example. You have the thought in your head, you start to do the research maybe, you know exactly what you want to do, what you like, what you want to eat, what you don't want to eat, what constitutes as being healthy. You know, it could be any of those things, but you know or have some idea of what you want to do. Now, here's where perfectionism can strike in that example. Morning, Frances. In that example, how perfectionism comes in is you start to think of like, how can I do this in a better way? You know, how can I make this better? So before you actually just take an action to get it done or to get the first step, you'll have this whole conversation in your head about, well, before I can eat healthily, I need to buy a new basket to put all my fruit and vegetables that I'm going to eat in. Before I can drink more water, I need to find the perfect water bottle. Can't have plastic in it, must be glass and all that sort of good stuff. But here's the difference between learning and doing. When we're putting something out there in the world, yes, we might need to research it. Yes, we might need to find out a little bit more. But if you actually start with the doing, that informs how to make that different, how to make it better, how to improve it, how your audience will receive it, how they will take it at the meeting, how your chances of promotion are looking, how the customer is likely to react to the product, how your clients or why your clients might even want to buy it or not, why they might want to buy it right now or next week. All of these things matter because you can keep learning and keep learning, but there comes a point where it's all about the doing. And this was one of the things that really struck me as I had the conversation with the coach. How can I perfect something that's designed for someone else, even though I've got good experience that person or those people would absolutely love it? How can I go to shape it and make it into something more of what's needed if it's not out there? So there's a really great argument for knowledge being power. Absolutely, all day, every day. There's really great reasons to learn more, to do more. But if you're going to have a proper experiential learning experience, one of the best things that you can do is learn and do. Learn some more and do. And actually, it's in the doing that you get the best learnings. Does it work? Would I do it this way again? Could I add something to it? Could I take something away? And it's interesting because, within my own client calls, this has again been a really regular theme. So I got so wrapped up in that. I did say good morning to you, Frances, didn't I? I hope. If not, good morning, Frances. Short-term memory loss. Oh my gosh. So just having a look there. So your computer is still, as they say in Turkey, Shirley Burley. Anyway, they really do say that. Anyone that's Turkish, hoş geldiniz, and welcome to this channel. I love my Turkish people. So think about something that you are either creating or have just created. And here's how I would love you to motivate yourself. Okay, here's how I'd love you to motivate or self-motivate for this week coming. I'd love you to think about that thing, preferably something that you are just about to put out there or just about to finish. It could be a project, it could be an offering. If you're self-employed, it could be a program, a service or something like that. And what I would love to encourage you to do is to start to put that out there. Start to put it out there anyway. and use your further learning by doing. So start to do it. I know that Ian has just launched his calendar with the fabulous photos that he takes. I'm convinced he's going to have to do a series of like some of the beautiful scenes he's taken, and some of the sites he's taken, some of the gorgeous food that he's taken photos of, and like split it into categories. Who knows? There could be a whole series going out there. Not that that's Ian's intention, but I just wanted to say that was such a good example. He showcased it to us, the Visibility Vibe Tribes, yesterday, and you know, I'm sure already people are putting their orders in for their calendar. And you know what? There is no way that Ian can do any more to perfect, quote unquote, perfect that calendar until people start feeding back. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. How can I buy 100 for my workforce? Or then that will cause Ian to then either have to think about how he's going to do it, or he might have to learn something. But either way, he's using this great synergy. If you see this kind of figure of 8 sign that I'm making with my fingers, he's going from learning to doing to then being able to improve, or is sometimes in the improvement, as I found, is pruning, taking stuff away. Maybe we're giving too much in our online course. Maybe we're sat in the meeting with the board and we can't convey our proposal clearly because we're telling them too much information. Whichever way it is, learn a bit. Knowledge is definitely power, and then implement it, do it. Look and notice at the results that you get from the doing, and if there are tweaks or little like bits of room for manoeuvre, come back and do it again. Maybe there's something to learn. Come back and learn that piece and then go again. Take action. Otherwise, you'll be the most knowledgeable person in the graveyard with all these regrets that say, oh, if only I had done this, I had done that. You know, and for some of you, it's not the graveyard, it's the position that you're in a certain company, and you've had to move on because you want to do something else and you never got your opportunity to really shine in that environment. So I'm going to scroll back and read some of the comments. Francie says, often it's learn the same things many times. Absolutely. I'm a big fan of repetition. Oh, you know what? I have my other device here and one over there, and I can't read the see more comments. I'll see if I can do it on the iPad. Let's just see. So your next comment says, let's have a look. For example, in medicine, you have to learn anatomy at least 7 times before you can say you know your stuff. I'm going to guess that says, because then it says see more. Absolutely. And you know, anatomy is a really good example of that. Yes, you might have to learn it 7 times, but as you're learning it, there'll be things that you go out and actually put into action, even if it's a skeleton for the first round, or it could be observing the doctor with a patient or the consultant with patients. You're then doing so that you can learn more, and that's one of the best ways to keep that synergy going and to keep the motivation going. So I love that. And France Lees is saying 100% agree. I was so happy to see that he did a calendar with his pictures. They're awesome pictures. They're absolutely awesome. They're buy-worthy, definitely. They definitely are. And the thing is, Ian is, like many of the Vibers in the Vibe Tribe, and very multi-talented, multi-skilled. You know, he's great with that. He's great with web services. He also runs a podcast. He does, you know, a number of things, and they can all fit in with each other. I'm quite sure that sorry, someone just sent me a message and it's just gone across my screen. A message that I'm very grateful to receive, actually. So you can see how sometimes, even though we've got these different kind of multi-facets, if we learn a thing or have learned a thing, because often we have learned enough, we are enough as it is, but going and doing and putting it into action is what really cements it, is what really shows it, is what tells us that we don't need to take another course, or it might show us that we don't need to spend as much time in one area as we thought. It might even show us that actually our ideas, which we might have talked ourselves out of and told ourselves were silly little ideas, are actually really valid. So one of the things I'm curious to know about is, when, while I've been speaking about this, was there something that sprang to mind that you could look at in a new way for this week? It doesn't have to be that you have to go out and create something new. Maybe it's something that you've learned and started to put out there. Could you take another action to put that thing out there again, really stack it, and then come back and notice what you can learn from that and how you might tweak that or change that, improve it, make it bigger, make it smaller, or anything else? I'd love to know. Do type in the comments below for those of you that are watching live. Francie says, action is the key to move forward. Francie sounds fired up. Francie, who says hello in her videos. If you haven't seen some of Francie's stuff, you need to check it out. She's an awesome osteopath and really good with helping you with chronic pain management, especially if it's back pain. She's a ninja at that. I have a jaw pain, and whilst some of you might laugh, it's right there, Francie. Like, maybe I've been talking too much. I think I know how it was caused. But yes, very, very strange. I wonder how I can get rid of that. So Faye's come on and she's saying, good morning all. Good morning, Faye. So really, that's what I wanted to share with you this morning. I'd love to know how you can apply this. And this is a really prime example. I have people that watch these Facebook Lives and then they come back and watch it again, and they might make notes. The piece that's missing in the learning and doing, not versus doing, but the learning and doing, is, what have I shared today? Just take one thing that I've shared that you can actually put into action. So if you are about to launch something, if you have already launched something, what can you put into action to do more? I'll give you another example. I was speaking to a client a couple of months ago now about something that they want to be doing, and it's all around visibility and being more visible. And they came to me, they wanted to work with me privately so that they could really get bespoke information on what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how to do more. And it got to a phase of like a few weeks where they turned up on time to the call. They, got their call recording, which is what you get if you work with me privately, so you can listen back and be in the moment at the time. And they'd taken copious amounts of notes. They're really fired up. But then I noticed that they weren't doing the things, the things that they wanted to do. And it's like, there's a real benefit in being academic and learning something. And there's also real benefit in what's commonly known in the learning and development world as accelerated learning or active learning. And that's where you actually take it and do something with it. And Alan is saying teaching is the best way of learning. I would say teaching is one of the best ways of learning. Absolutely agree with that. If you've learned something yourself and it's kind of in your remit to teach it out, to be able to teach it out then means that you need a certain understanding of it. And that in itself actually is an action. So that's one such action that you're putting out there. So Francis is saying we need to talk about the jaw thing. It's right up there. When I go like that, I can feel it. It doesn't click, but I can feel it. Anyway, enough of my jaw ache. Talking of jaw ache, I'm going to leave you to go and look at one thing that you're going to put into action. So Alan is going to be teaching as the best way of learning, and that teaching is actually the action that he's going to take. What are the rest of you going to do? Please put it in the comments below, even if you're watching this on the replay. And if you want a longer conversation, want to know a bit more, then do visit the group at the top of the page there. You will be asked 3 questions. Please note, if you do not answer the 3 questions, I will presume that you are some sort of bot and I will not let you into the group. They're 3 very easy questions, 3 very quick questions. So click on the top of the page where it says visit group, join the group. And once you answer those questions, not only will you be surrounded by a juicy tribe of really great and warm people, one of the softest places I think to land here on Facebook, you'll also be able to continue the conversation so that your family, friends and the people that you're usually connected to on Facebook won't necessarily, well, they won't unless they're in the group, be able to see what you're writing, what you're sharing, so you can share openly, honestly, vulnerably, in whichever way that suits you. So, France Lise is responding to Ian, and Faye is saying, have a lovely day. I want you to all have a really, really great day. You know, be motivated. Don't over push yourself. I don't want any burnout. Thank you very much. I don't want any overwhelm. And if you want to find out more about how you can either work with me privately or how I can come into your organisation to help with that kind of stuff, then do send a message to this page and leave me contact details, and I will get back to you. Monday is my coaching day. I'm so excited to get started. Breakfast for me, and then off to start my Monday and my morning and my week, because by the end of this week we'll be in December already. Can you believe that? So have a wonderful day. And Alan has taken Accelerated Learning Techniques course in 1999. Wow. I think that's definitely before I came across the field of accelerated learning, but I love it. So thank you so much for joining me and watching. And please remember, don't keep me a secret. Please share this on your personal timeline, because you never know who of your friends and family might really need a little bit of Monday motivation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love hearts. Bye for now.